Good morning, everybody. I wanted to do an update on my plants. And so let's start out with the Nepenthes. You can see they're doing really well. I did talk to California carnivores. They told me to go ahead and take that tall one off. And so that's what I'm doing. And they said I didn't have enough light on it, or the light was too far away. So I lowered the light. You can see it's lower. I lowered the light on it. And also you can see that right now it's misting or doing the humidity thing with the fogger. But they're doing really well. I really love how these are turning out. And they're really simple. Like I've said on other videos, we use a fogger and there's the tubes. We're getting some new line so that way we can replace it. But the fogger is right there. And you can see that it's doing its thing. I did have to put it in that container there because my dogs kept getting into it. So I went ahead and did that. And then it's all hooked up onto a timer. The timer is right here. And it's a spidered mess. I'd like to do something that's a little more organized. But, you know, if it keeps my plants alive, that's all that matters to me. And look how pretty these things are. And if I move this one off to the side, you can see that it's starting to produce. And that moss is just gorgeous in there. See all that moss? It's absolutely gorgeous. And with the plant. So it's doing really well. And I got the lights on it. Now these guys won't go outside at all. I'll keep them in here so that way I can keep their environment perfect. And then here's my succulent area. Look at what my henny bennies, chicken and hens are doing. They are just growing. Looking for things to grab onto is what they're doing. I am so certain. Because they have those little itty bitty string-like stuff. You can see like right there, you can see it. But they are just going bonkers. And then, you know, I have all those back there. And the cactus. So that's doing really good underneath that light. And the plant that I don't know what it is. If you do, leave a comment. Tell me what that plant is. I really would like to know. And then here's my tropical one. Well, it's supposed to hibernate, and I tried to get it to hibernate, but it just didn't work. So I just let it just do its thing, and then come spring when I take it outside, it'll really do well. Last year I got a flower off of it. So apparently I was doing something right, and you know, it looked real pretty. I think I have a video on that as well in one of my garden videos. But you're supposed to let these things hibernate over the winter months. And so that's what I was doing. And it still produced some. So I'm just letting it, like I said, do its thing. And then come spring, it should just kind of pop up. But you can see, doing great. I got extra water back there. You can see it right there. Because just in case I run out of the water that I normally use. And then here is my mother-in-law's tongue snake plant. It's doing absolutely wonderful. Sitting right there. It's going to need a bigger pot, I think. And I don't know if I'll take that out or not. I don't think I've ever taken that outside. I might. I don't know. They don't like a lot of full sun. So this is the one side of my plants, but you can see that Fogger does good. It's just a reptile fogger, and I've tried to find one exactly like that on Amazon because that's exactly where I got it, and I can't find it. It's been discontinued. So, and then I think it was only like 30 some dollars. Now they have these foggers that are like 40, 50, 60 bucks. If I find one that matches up to the one I have, I'll put a link to it. I'll start looking like on Google, do a Google search, and even if it's not Amazon, I'll still leave a link. Down here below, I have my loofah seeds that I'm trying to produce, get them to germinate. And then I have my cups right there, ready for them. I'm just kind of waiting. And loofahs, you have to grow them early. Here is my Meyer lemon tree. Definitely doing a lot better. I think we're over the hump on the spider mites. My husband said he dreads taking it outside. That's okay. That's where it's going. It was his idea to get it, and so he can help me get this thing in and out. I'm thinking about getting a dolly, so that way it'll be easier on the plant, easier on us humans. And but it's doing great. It's not going to produce this year. It might produce later in the season when it's outside. But for right now, I mean, because we were dealing with spider mites, so I'm sure it stunted it some. But it's doing great. And you can see, I got water in there. Now I put the plastic in to protect the wood, but down at the bottom there's holes in that planter that I have. The plastic has holes as well, so that way the water can seep through. And if you can see at the bottom, it is seeping out. So the tree is not sitting in water, even though there's plastic there. I have holes, and the plastic went through the holes, so that way, I can make sure that, nothing would hinder it. So it does drain really well. And it's under the light. And then over here is my aloe, which is going to have to go in a bigger pot. It's getting huge. I didn't expect to grow it because every time I got an aloe, it would die. But aloes are like, they like well drainage, soil. And I only water it once a month. And it seems to be doing really well. I'm really happy with it. I would just, kind of consider that plant one of those water it once a month and forget it. Make sure it gets enough light, so on and so forth. And so it worked. Looks like little octopus legs kind of sticking out. And my Drosera, look at that. They are doing wonderful right there. Beautiful plant. And look at the flowers. You can see that over there is going to do the same as the one over here. I'm assuming that means they're happy. You can just see that. I mean, they're just beautiful. You see one right there popping up. So apparently they have enough light. And that's just pretty easy. Well-drained soil. There's a specific soil that you have to get for it. Stage of moss, perlite, And then I put some regular moss in it. You can see up there at the top, you know, where the green is. I got some actual moss in there. And then I put, made a bog effect. So, you know, I filled that up with water. I gotta do it again. Usually it's about every 2, 3 days now. I gotta make sure that that's full of water. But they look happy. You see the water in that bog. And it usually about one big cup of water, and it's good. Very simple. You know, I got 2 lights on it, and they're doing good. There is my string of hearts. I'm trying to propagate it, so that's why it's there in the window. I got old windows. I think this house, you know, these windows are when the house was built, so don't mind it. But yeah, that's the string of hearts. And you see that little nodule right there, like a little ball. You make sure those balls get into the soil, and that's supposed to propagate the plant. So I went ahead and put it up there. We're going to see what happens. But if I bring it down and look, it's doing good. So we're just trying to propagate it. But you can see those little balls right there. You're supposed to make sure they get into the soil, and then it roots itself from there. So we'll see. We're trying. I cannot remember the name of this plant. I think it's called the devil's backbone. That's actually the term for it. But my banker uh, gave that to me, and it's doing really well. I got it hanging up, and we'll see what happens. Um, you don't want to put those outside. I did some research on them. They are very, very, uh, they'll just take over everything. So you want to make sure that you just keep it in the house and get rid of the babies, you know, as they, you know, so that way you don't cause an incident outside. But, so I'm just keeping it in the house, and that way I can keep control of it. But she gave it to me, and I love it. I think it's awesome. I looked at pictures of them, and they're actually going to be beautiful plants. Now, what I wanted to discuss with you guys was my hanging plants. And if you remember, I said I didn't know what was wrong with them, how, you know, why are they doing what they were doing? Well, you can see they're doing really well now. I figured it out. Climbing up on a ladder and then getting them off those hooks is really tiresome for my back. But Donnie went and helped me get them down so I could see what was going on. And even though I was watering them twice a week, the soil literally turned hard, like, you know, like a cork. And it wasn't holding the water like it should. It was just draining out. And so what I did is I went ahead, cleaned them, and put them in water to soak and absorb that water. And now the soil is, well, the plant's really heavy now. And because when we took the plant down, I was like, you know, why is it so light? I mean, it was almost like all I was carrying was you know, the container itself, not dirt and a plant. And that was the reason. For some reason, my plants, the soil dried out so fast that I didn't realize it, and that's why I was having problems. So I set them in water, and I put water over the top, and I let them sit for about, I'd say about 15 minutes. And the plant got really heavy, or the pot. So I knew that it absorbed all that water. And that's how I fixed it. Cleaned out the dead and just let it sit in water. And you can see the spider plant. I did the same thing. Now, spider plants like to sit in water. They absolutely like it. And so that's what I did with that one as well. You can see it's just huge stuff. I think I'm going to take these little baby spider plants, if that's what you want to call them. They're so big. And probably sell them, to clean it out. Let the mama kind of, you know, build back up because all that nutrients is going to them, and she needs the nutrients. And then the pothos, you see, doing lots better. In fact, I thought I seen some. Yep, your plants are doing good when you could see the little dewdrops on the tips. There's my other pothos. Did the same thing with that one and added, cleaned it and set it in water and then added water. And you can see it's doing really well. And it also has a little dewdrop. Now I use tap water for these guys. Everything but my carnivorous plants. And then there's the other spider plant. I took all the babies off this one. And you can see how well it's doing with the babies off. So I'm going to do that with the other one. Let it fill out. But that was the problem. The problem is the soil just got horrible. And so I put it in a sink of water, like lukewarm, I would say wrist temperature, and let it sit in there. And then I added water and I just let it sit until it absorbed all that water. And then I stat them out, let them drain. Once they drained, we picked them up and put them back up, and they're doing so much better. I will definitely, from now on, kind of lift up the bottoms of the pots. And if they don't feel heavy, then I know that they need, that type of care. So if your pothos or your spider plants are doing not very well, definitely check the soil. Make sure that the soil isn't compacted and hard, because if it's hard, the water's just not going to grab into it, and then it's not going to water your plants because all it's doing is just draining straight out. So I would definitely, check those if you're having problems. That's the first thing that I would check. And you don't want to overwater, but with these guys not having a lot of water throughout, basically the winter months, because the soil was just not good. Um, I just went ahead and did what I did with it. Here is Culligan. I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to get another shipment here soon. This is my last jug, so hopefully something comes to fruition. If not, I have some water jugs down there at the bottom if I have to, do it. But yeah, that's Culligan. And this is called a dolphin, I think it. So all you do is up here, you push this down, and kind of like a pump, and that's how I get my water. You can see all my plants. Pretty soon a lot of these will be outside. I'm really happy with my tree. I'm happy that we got over the spider problem. But you can see look at that leaf. Just gorgeous. These leaves are gorgeous. And when we got over it, very pliable. This one's a little dry, but you can see this one's doing great. So I'm gonna go ahead and water these guys. Water this one. Water this one. And then I'm going to go ahead and water these guys. And this is distilled water. And I get it from Culligan. And then you just make sure the bottom down here is full. You can see it's full up there. And then I water the top. But look at that flower. I'm so happy to see that. And that's all you do with these guys. The Droseras are really easy. The Pythias need the humidity. I found that they really like it. So I'm going to definitely, I keep that fogger going on it. And the fogger goes every 3 hours for 30 minutes. And there's my other Pothos. And they get in just enough light with the windows right there. And I open those windows up every day. They do not have drainage holes, so I only give them about a half cup of water about every 4 or 5 days. Pretty simple, easy to take care of, as long as you have just a light. That right there will take care of them, but I also give the windows as well. This is the new one. It's called String of Pearls. It's doing really good. I do take it outside during the day, bring it in at night, and it also has the light over the sink. And this is where I'm propagating spider plants and pothos, and of course, my potatoes to take outside. And that, my friends, is the plants. Hey everyone, as we come to the end of today's video, I just want to take a moment to express my gratitude for each and every one of you. Your support means the world to me, and I'm truly humbled by the incredible community we have built together. If you enjoyed what you saw and you want to see more content like this, please consider subscribing to my channel. By subscribing, you not only stay updated with all the latest videos, but you also become a valued member of our community. Remember, every like, comment, and share is appreciated more than you know. It's your support that motivates me. Thank you again for being part of this journey with me. Until next time, take care, stay awesome, and keep spreading kindness wherever you go.